they were asking around workforce development, around infrastructure, roads and bridges, and so we had some great conversations. But I was surprised at one of the meetings we had with State Senator, U.S. Senator Marsha Blackburn office, in which she was pushing hard for an after-school program, in which we endorse here in Shelby County. Is an after-school program to bring more money and resources for programs for our youth to be in programs, and she said basically largely she pushed for this deal, thinking about Shelby County mind when a lot of the constituents from here calling her about the crime and things that's in our community. And then the chart that they showed us like what we know a lot of times at 3 o'clock how the crime peaks among our young kids. As soon as they get out of school, basically getting into trouble, breaking the houses and different things that were happening. So really, how do we keep those children in some type of after-school program? Another thing that we saw out of Iowa was community and school model. That's basically putting funds in community school models, and that's basically you all as nonprofits getting dollars, working inside of the schools, working with the schools to allow educators to stay focused on education while you provide those wraparound services, after school, mentorship, mental health and other services. So those were two things in that particular office. Congressman Cohen, I appreciate him. One of the things that he did do, he put in $1 million for us for our youth and family resource center right across the street here to have more mental health service, counseling, wraparound services. But this is the kicker. Trump is going to hold on. He held back on everything, and basically what he's saying right now, and that's why y'all keep hearing that we might get a shutdown, he only want to fund the basic stuff right now. So anything extra, they're not trying to release that money. And prayerfully, they can come to some type of agreement by September when they come back for those funds to be released. But we already approved for that, but we went forward too with some other asks for Congressman Cohen. Because this is the thing, in the state of Tennessee, we got, I think, 5 congressional people in office, but only 1 Democrat, Congressman Cohen. So he is the only one that do earmarks. So everybody come to him for earmarks. And they only get maybe like $10 million. And so with University of Memphis, everybody, right, coming and having Shelby County come. I'm sure Milton put in an ad for stuff. We got Alderman McGee here with us. But we went back this year asking about Regional 1 and some investments into that. Investments around the potholes on the interstate, more money for TDOT, money to come to the state around that. Our mental health facilities, our jails, and or just mental health services in general for our community. We're asking for that. And then money for Southwest Community College for aviation, some other logistics training programs that are there. So we'll see what he's able to add to for this year, and hopefully we get it next year. If we get what we got from last year, this year, the administration move forward and stop blocking those dollars coming down. So there's a lot going on in DC, but what I did learn from what's happening in DC, I can tell you this from the week before we was in Nashville, a couple of weeks before our legislative agenda in Nashville, just the hope of our Democratic colleagues up there is just like forever left the room, right? In Nashville, y'all know the Republicans are the supermajority. They have the power, they walk around with it. And so again, being strategic to make sure that what are we asking for, and a lot of what we're asking for, they're looking for it to be systematic. There's a lot of things that's coming out of Memphis lately that has not been good. All right? And one of the things I heard 3 times in 3 different places in D.C. was, is there any hope for Memphis?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
There he is.
There he is. And I said, I wouldn't have been here if it wasn't. I said, to get on that plane, when I was traumatized, y'all, I ain't gonna lie. Every time it shook, I was ready to say, pull over and let me get off. And y'all know what's been happening with these airplanes lately, but I overcame my fear because I knew I needed to be there for our community. Some of my colleagues chose and did not go. And for several reasons, some of them just felt like, hey, going, what for? Because this is a democratic city, what are they going to do for us? But I found out, as I tell you all often, that if you're not on the table, you're on the menu. And so I was making sure we was on the table. And if there was some on the menu, we going to get it. And I brought back a lot of information, I'm going to try to digest as much as I can. I have been, and I will share some of those links out so that you can have information about different grants and things that they're going to have. Again, I'm holding some of that to the chest because prematurely, if I give it, send it out, and they change the game like they're going to, y'all just did all that for nothing, right? So really making sure that the information we're giving out is timely, you're not wasting your time, spending your wheels. If, for example, this administration decides everything will be artificial intelligence, right? Like what are we doing to make sure that we're working our education system, our children are learning code and learning the things to make sure that they are in whatever this world becomes, right? I know we still got to have some of the basics, but we got to know economics, and we got to stay over the trends, and that's what I learned. So I'm gonna just start off real quick, briefly go over, for those who don't know, I'm Charlie Caswell, the County Commissioner for District 6. I see some new faces in here, but appreciate you all coming out. The reason I got y'all out today, I just said, if I say grants, Ms. Lewis gonna come, and then it happened. Nah, but a lot of times, you know, we are out there, and I just say this, and I'm not going to speak on what we're dealing with right now in the County Commission around some of the grants with one of the commissioners that's out there, is that that thing is going to take its course. And I just feel like if anybody that's in no position, I wouldn't want nobody there. I don't know about what this is in part. In part, I say this, is that I'm going to save my comments until the time comes that we have to be able to address that. But my prayers are always with anybody that's facing any type of, y'all know my fight with these 901 and others, that I look for anybody to be restored and get their life, you know, right. But we got to make sure one thing we do, and it's working. Pastor Leon can tell you, I said from day one, Thomas McGee was my treasurer on my campaign, don't even buy me a cup of coffee. I just spent so much money on lunches, going out and meeting people. But Pastor, I wouldn't let Pastor buy me. I'm like, tell the Lord thank you. Because you ain't going to say he did this for that. Right. That's dead on that. And so just keep us in prayer, and because it's a stressful factor. Some of the things that the Bureau sent out, even on grants, to just hold tight on that until some of these things are investigated. So we don't get our new funding until July. So I want to make sure that you all are up to point on that when this new budget season come out, you're ready and you're in position to do that. But two, understand that community enhancement grants and city council grants are not the only funding sources in our county. It is when we don't come together. When we merged and did what we did with Wraparound District 6, that didn't come out of community enhancement grant. That came out the budget because we put together a big plan to drive our community forward. And I just want to give a quick testimony. Thank you, Charlie Golden. This sister here, this is the president of that neighborhood association that called me about all that trash that was out there. And his team went over there and got all that trash up for us. So give him a hand. What will it take the city weeks or months to go to? They did it in days for us, and I know they have to drive home and see that all their trash was gone. Yes, but this is continually what I do when I get those calls in about blighting our community. I give Brother Gold and his team a call, they get over there and address it. And that's the same thing if I have an incident about some gangs, if they tell me about people in our community, I can call 911 Block Squad. They gonna get over there. They gonna tell me what's happening before the police know what happened. Because guess what? They gonna talk to them before they talk to the police. Right. And I can guarantee you, I can tell you case after case that they have given me quality information that have mitigate situations that could have got a lot worse. Yeah. And so it's those type of partnerships that our ecosystem is based on. So real quick, for those who do know, when I intentionally, again, thinking about sustainability for grant for our community for District 6, my charge, as you all know, my boss, is 76,000 stakeholders in this district counts on us to get the job done when we go down there in that chamber. And so when we go down there, I want to be able to allocate. And the three main things that we as county government focus on and fund generally is public safety, which is the jails, the sheriff's department, juvenile court, the district attorney office, the judges, and all the court system. Public education, not running the education system, but funding the education system, right? The teacher salaries, the operation and management of the new schools that we're building as we are moving forward to build the new Fraser High School. And then the public health, Regional 1. the trauma center. And a lot of people know that we fund that entity in large because they take the injured people who don't have insurance, they take them in and see after them. And out of our funding, about $38 million go to their operation budget for those people who don't have their insurance and support them. And then our public health department and all that they do within the health department. So those are the three main things, but because of the community enhancement grants and then some of our other foresight of working with our community, we are able to go out to dollars and many times through federal grants or state grants provide these services back to our district. So just thinking about those who are looking for resources when they come to us, and I'm gonna start third in District 6 before I go into talk about these community enhancement grants and other things that are available. Can y'all see this real quick? And we can see it online. Basically, we're looking at building collaboration, again, using communication, collaboration, connecting over Europe. We've been here now almost going on a half, working together and having these weekly stakeholder meetings, coming together. Again, thank Doré Event Center. We had our first evening meeting last Tuesday, and it was very successful. Thank everybody. Give Gold in a hand and Nicole a hand for hosting us there at the Doré Event Center. We'll be back there at the 4th Tuesday for those who say I can't make it at noon time, but I can make it in the evening time. And that's how I met this couple for the first time. We came out and doing some great work. We met a lot of new people that are coming in from 6 o'clock to about 8 o'clock. We there. But it is building resilient hubs for our community, such as what we're doing here, working with Pastor Leon and what the Broadnecks, back there, the Broadnecks, y'all go over there and see. We invested about $100,000 brand new gym facility that's over there that's actually providing after-school programs and other things up there in the northern part of our district, working with Pure Academy down in the South and Nutbush community where they just opened up. We were able to get almost $600,000 into that with $250,000 for programming and another $450,000 for some of their capital work that they were doing. Again, enlarged, and that came out of a collaborative because for those who know Pure Academy have also an office in Westwood, so you have a number of commissioners coming together with the mayor of the same and juvenile court judge who fought for that to happen. So they going from 30 individuals living in a boarding home there until 70 initially, up to 285 out the while. So it's a powerful program to get to know about, but they're going to also operate as a hub where people can come in the Nutbush community, get food, do cleanups, and do things in that community. So I'm excited about that partnership. So that's our community engagement piece. That's a lot of our youth program. That's our community meetings and the things we're doing around collaboration. So when you talk about education and looking at the things where I know one of our partners not here, they was at the last Tuesday night with us, Tanja Houston with Universal. They're inside of Raleigh Regional High School providing, actually training and teaching these young people auto body mechanics. So they're learning that in that school, and then they're actually building their own car. Some of the work Gold is doing with training his guys around lawn care, carpentry. We were able to fund that and educate them. But also work around our mental health. Again, that's why we fight even more resources. We just put another $500,000 from the county through the Racial Equity Committee for mental health service for any child 12 to 18 years old in their families to be able to get counseling and services for free. They can do it one-on-one counseling, they can do group therapy, or however they choose, or telehealth online. So this is some of our educational points here, and then, like I said, after-school programs. The other is serve and protect. Again, we got our neighborhood watch lady in right here. Neighborhood watch. She just walked out. So we got neighborhood watch in the house. We have the police department, and we want to thank them for their partnership. We want to continue to increase our neighborhood watch and do things like what Ms. Angela Rogers is doing as the president of her neighborhood association. When they see something, they say something. And when you say something, you get something done. That's what we want to continue to do. When people see that we're reacting in our community like that, our communities are going to become safer. And so, and I think we'll watch and tell you more about some of the programmatic stuff, the ambassador program, citizen policing that you can do with them. Also here, our advocacy work. That's our work that just coming back from DC. going to Nashville is that as we are continuing to talk about these things that we want to see done in our community, again, I said it to the men at the beginning of the year, but to all of you, as God has given me the power of the pen, right? And he told me I'm going to be a bishop and a man. And so with that power of the pen, as we come together, I'm able to, as you know, Sister Moore, who mother was a commissioner, you write the resolution. All we have to do is get the attorney to brief everything, and we take it and get 6 votes. We get law change, we get policy change, and we can change the narrative of the outcomes of our community. And so that's a large scale of what that's about. A lot of what my fight downtown, as well as it was in Nashville, because we're seeing so much gun violence and funding violent prevention and intervention programs. And a lot of what many of you all are doing, in a way you are on that tier, is either you're doing prevention, you're doing intervention, or the police got to do the suppressing. And so if we don't get them at the first 2 levels, with 901, with Charlie, with some of these other programs that I hear, then the last place is going to the law. And when you get to the law, that costs us more money. So I know Son was able to make it to my public safety ad hoc committee meeting this past Thursday. I had the sheriff department there. Oh, and I want to speak to that real quick. Because some of y'all seen on the news talking about Raleigh Egypt School. Y'all seen that? So let me get some clarity to that too, because the vice principal there, he's on our ad hoc committee. He's supposed to bring down information and data such as what he shared on there. It's just the news was there, and they took the story off the jail and put it on him. Why? Because they want something about school. And they so took it and took misinformation. They said he talked to the school board. No, he talked to the Memphis City Council about streets around the school. And they told him they didn't have CIP dollars to address it. It wasn't accounted. So a lot of people were like, well, Charlie, why we didn't get the money in Raleigh? And we ain't got money in Raleigh, but we can build a new high school in Fraser. Well, that ain't the case. We got money in CIP budget. It's about how we allocate those dollars. And I got my people pulling the record from when the superintendent came earlier this year and did a budget committee, and Raleigh Egypt was not even on the list. So watch this here. Their name wasn't on the list. Year before their name was on the list. And I brought it up. It's on tape. I said, Raleigh Egypt was on there. They said to me this year in budget, last budget, but for this budget season, they taking care of it. So here you telling us it's done, but it's not done. And so I've been going up there to take a look at where they talk about the drainage problem around the band. And they walked to the band. I saw it. This time his team gonna be able to go in there and knock out. We don't have to wait on nobody to come in there and help our kids. We just need to know the problem is there so we can address it. Right. So that's what we are advocating those advocacy things about. And lastly is economic development. And again, when we talk about teaching these young folks trades and opportunities to get jobs and be able to get in these positions to better serve our community, as well as Raleigh CDC, they was here, I speak, I think week before last or last week, and they talked about the money that we invested into Raleigh CDC. So if you are a business in this community or trying to start a business, we put dollars there, and it's called Lonely Entrepreneur. It's a program and an app that walks you through step by step on how to make sure you're building capacity to scale your business. This is the type of investment we're doing to help our business on the scale up. And this is what I shared in Nashville and in DC, that many in our community don't come from entrepreneurship backgrounds or families that have business. So they don't know how to just do business, and many times that's why we're not doing business. We just created us a new job. That's all. Working our own job and not building a business. And so we're making sure that those dollars that we put into the bank is addressing them. But lastly, healing minds. A lot of y'all know my fight is going to continue to be around how do we address the mindset of our people and deal with the mental health and trauma that's generationally in our community, and causing many to not have the right mindset when it is time to do business with each other, because now you're so traumatized you triggered by somebody that's trying to help you out. We see it so much in our community. So fighting for mental health resources, one of the things we got our community partners, Nicole Gates with the Sherman County District Connector. That was one of the programs, as I said, that we fought for, that I really fought for, because I knew that we needed people on the ground. Even though y'all see me more than most commissioners, and I'm blessed in part because we are business owners, we have our own driving school, we do our own consulting and training work, that our connectors are in these communities to connect with you all. Many of y'all connect with me, but that's who you connect to because she's helping to actually draw up what the plan is, and the other 13, the other 12 are as well, so that when they come back to the commission, and we got a $1.6 billion budget, we can say, looking at this, these are the things that's not happening in these communities, and there's too much happening over here, so we need to move resources to help benefit there and all create equal in some capacity. So we trying that as a pilot and a model. I'm praying for great success. I know we got a great connector in Nicole because she knows the community. She live, worship. I think she go to church. She goes to church. Worship in our community. So that all that being said, I'm gonna jump to now the grant information and share some. Anybody got any questions so far? I wanted you all to know. So when it comes time for you to say, Charlie, I want you to give a meal grant. I say this, y'all. We cannot just continue the Band-Aid situation. We got to build a system because what y'all think? Oh my God. Them people are so depressed, like 50,000 people who were coming into DC almost every day from Virginia don't have jobs now. And so they are cutting their own. So it's going to be easy for them to say, we're going to cut y'all program. We're going to cut your grant, so y'all got to figure it out as we got to figure it out, right? And I said that in committee last week. I said, y'all, we really have to start looking at some of these clerk offices and how we use artificial intelligence to actually be able to position in some of these positions, because if the money starts getting cut at the federal level, we got to make some decisions, or else this is what we got to say to y'all. We're going to keep doing the same thing, right? But y'all got to pay for it. Right. We ain't going to get no federal dollars. So if we'll get federal dollars, and y'all say, no, Charlie, don't let those folks get fired. And I'm for them not getting fired. That's why we put $1.5 million in the tuition program so that they can go get certification in any other type of public safety job they want to. Some of those jobs they sitting in now, they go in the public sector world and make $60,000. They only making $31,000. Why? Because they don't have a certification. That's all they need. And we got money in the budget for them to go do that, because when the change comes, and I'm going to keep saying that, because the change, I saw it. I saw it firsthand. It so happened my hotel was connected to FEMA, and they were sitting out in the hallway talking about how so many people from FEMA were being cut. And I don't know how you cutting people from FEMA when we just had California burned down, hurricanes down south, but they think this artificial intelligence can do all those people's jobs. Just scan your documents you need, send them what you need, we're going to send you a check. And then you take all these benefits, these positions out way. So we're going to jump into the county commission grants real quick, and let's see how this process. Who all here about show of hands ever got a community enhancement grant through the county? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who haven't got a grant through the county? Or tried to do it? You tried. You ain't tried, did you? Some people didn't try because they just don't know about the process, right? Or don't know that the process is there. So the Reginald Milton is now called the Reginald Milton Community Enhancement Grant, named after Reginald Milton, who came up with this concept some years ago as county commission. And I was blessed to work with Reginald Milton, who really, we saw that need before he became a county commissioner. We did, again, a vision of Nicole Gates back in the day around the baby stores. We actually took that and spread that all across the county. And he was the baby store in the south, he was the baby store in the north. And we saw all of these people getting, the same organizations getting the money after money, time after time. He's saying, so how do we get the resources to the people on the ground? And when you got the executive, so you got the executive office or the mayor office who know all the big name people, don't know the people on the ground, right? Then you're not gonna get it. So what he came up with this concept was basically commissioners know their people, they know their community, they are connected to their community. So they should have an opportunity to bring some enhancement back through supporting those community organizations. So community enhancement grant program was established by Sugar County Board of Commissioners in 2015. Each commissioner has a fund available to provide assistance to their nonprofit organization as well as some governmental. So I'm going to say this is that the original grant was just $100,000. Just needed been more out of $1.6 billion. Y'all. And I say this often, y'all heard me say this, that we out of District 6 turn in about $36 million into the budget every year, $36 million. That's our property tax, sales tax, and everything out of our district. And we only getting $100,000, that was crazy, right? So we enhanced it, well, they enhanced it before I got on the body 2 years ago to $200,000, and we fought to keep it at that level in this year's budget, this year as well. And so the Board of Commissioners accepting applications, again, fiscal deadline is May the 31st, so 2025. That's if we have money left. Some commissioners may still have a few dollars left, and many of us, I know pretty much mine went out on the front of the last year. What I did with the grant, I let Craig Miller, Craig High, Craig Miller, Ronald Egypt Miller, and high school students come down. We let nonprofits come pitch to them, and they decided who got the grant. Nicole, I think was there that had allowed them to tell organizations that they saw in their community working, actually pitch and tell how much they did. And that gave them, and that's how that person actually got on our ad hoc committee, because they became part of the process. So let me say this: when it comes to grant, your commissioner is not the only one who can give you a grant. All right? So Pastor Leon, for example, I'm going to use him as an example because I look at his data often with the Light and Light. So one of the things on his data point, he collects the zip code that they come from. So out of that, every week, if he can show he got 100 people coming from Orange Mound, Whitehaven, he can go down there and talk to Commissioner Thornton and show her on paper how men on Friday night from 8 o'clock to midnight are not in their community committing crime because they over here shooting balls. So now that's an investment she made towards public safety, because it's keeping these young men who would have just been in the streets in Orange Mound or South Memphis. So, and I see that data point, it comes from a whole bunch of neighborhoods. So really he can go talk to 6, 7, 8 commissioners and show them the data of how he's impacting their community by providing, but not just the shooting ball. They get jobs, they get wraparound service, they're going home with food, they're going home with resources. So those things are impacting back into that neighborhood, even though he's right here in District 6. Y'all got that? So data is important. Keep track of where the people who come to you for services or supports come from. RC3, just like your school, some of those kids, all of those kids don't come from Raleigh, right? Right. They come from other neighborhoods. So you coming back down to us saying that, hey, I got 300 kids that's coming from this community, the neighborhood, and 200. Then you want to be able to tell that story. They want to hear how you are affecting my community, or why should I give you my money? And I'm kind of the same way. I'm like, at the end of the day, if I'm sitting among stakeholders weekly in my community, they looking at me like you gave them some money, but you didn't give the people in your own neighborhood. That ain't gonna watch unless I can show them how what they doing are affecting families back in our community. So basically, you have to be a nonprofit, 501c3 or 501c4, civic organization, or 501c6. That's a business, league, or chamber of commerce. So that 501c6 is like our Memphis area chamber of commerce. I know many of the commissioners of Barton McWright often give Barton Chamber of Commerce money because they provide some training program with the TCAT over there. They work with those people, giving them job opportunities. So you can be a different entity, then a nonprofit, but it needs to be one of these legal recognized RN or federally recognized bodies. Any questions, sir? Can't just be a business. You got to be a chamber or lead business lead organization, right? And I know that's one of the things that Rhonda is working on with our business owners, is to start a Raleigh Chamber of Commerce. So with that Raleigh Chamber of Commerce, if we saying now we're going to enhance, let's say, cameras around the business, that chamber can come in and say, we're going to put these money around our shopping centers to help bring more businesses to our community. That chamber can advocate and come to us for dollars that way. What purpose can the grant proceeds be used for? Programs, services, operating costs, equipment, construction, renovation, and maintenance. So it's pretty broad in what you can use those dollars for. I just say, just be as straight with your budget that you want to be able to do. And again, y'all, I often say this, I see this, and this is where a lot of times organizations fail. They'll come down there and want the county or the city to give them 100% of their program. No, you got to do some fundraising. You got to go knock on some doors. You got to bring something to the table. Go to the state. You got the state with money. You got the federal with money. You got foundations with money. They like, you just asking one entity to fund everything. What's going to happen next year? If this is your only funding source, then you're going to keep coming back. But we got all of this other work going on. And this is why I said, and what we're doing in creating this ecosystem is we're building a sustainable model that then we applying for grants. And some of those who know that we kept dollars in our budget through the ecosystem so that we put together a collective plan. Broadback said it a couple of weeks ago, y'all. This again, y'all, this is my part-time, but yet I've been full-time. I cannot be with everybody to make sure everybody working together so that we can go and put this strategic plan in place. We got the consultants waiting on us. But y'all got to come together and say, this is how your program has come up with it. Didn't happen. Broadnex used his buses to take kids, work for RC3. They partnered this year to do a spring camp together because they were part of this body, a part of this work. Bringing people to light at night and getting sin relief, helping people get houses because they go and work together. That's the type of data we want to be able to put in to go out to foundations and businesses. Because businesses give money to this work too, y'all. But they want to see real systems, not just a silo approach and changing the narrative of all of this. So somebody could be doing programs, somebody could be doing services, right? Somebody could be the backbone. And eventually, I want right now, even though School C is our backbone organization, they're doing it because we ask them, but they're not in our community. We need a backbone organization right here that take wraparound district. But God comes down, we don't know. God may say that I'm not your commissioner in 18 months, right? I mean, something else may happen. Somebody else come, that don't mean the work stop. Right. We don't stop because Charlie ain't the one who run it. No, we're doing this work regardless because we understand how it works. And so we need all of these programs and partnerships working together. The other thing is, factors consider when evaluating the program, project, and grant request. So many times, y'all, I say this because I was in the nonprofit world for many years before I ran for office. It was that I found it and I was getting mad at the pastor meeting. I'm like, how they keep coming in here getting the money? Brother Carl back there, I said, how they keep coming here getting the money? We doing the work. I said, it was like this. It was like we were running in the house, pulling the people out the fire, going back in, pulling somebody out the fire. But guess what we forgot to do? We forgot to count how many people we pulled out the fire. We weren't keeping no data, how many steps we ran up, how much time it took us to go in, nothing. Just going in, passion. They love our passion because they don't have to give us no prosperity with it. So we have to learn their system. The system is every time you go into the fire, count how many steps you took, what corners you went around, right? So that you can measure how you brought the people out of the fire. Brother Search back down, Andre do a lot of great work through his organization. About to do, what you doing this coming week?
Adrian Davis.
Adrian Davis, yeah.
It's Fine Dining for the Homeless. I'm the founder of Community Services of America, CSLA. You guys have probably seen this on social media and whatnot. So we're giving back at a high level. So we're asking volunteers, to dress out, black tie, black pants, white shirt, and we give back at a high level.
What you doing? What's the program? What you doing?
This is Fine Dining for the Homeless.
Fine Dining for the Homeless.
Yeah, so our basis is
and what's that date on it?
No.
Yeah, we'll get it out. I just want you to say it real quick. What's the date on it? We don't know.
March 15th.
March 15th. So those who want to, again, make sure you connect because he's doing not just that, but many other things. He came into our public safety ad hoc because of knowing the work that we were doing, and so actually got the sheriff, and we were having conversations about doing something that he thought of was safe surrender. And that is basically, we found out doing that public safety ad hoc, there's about 15,000 individuals in our county with a minor warrant on them. Watch this here. Not going to get a job because they scared the police going to take them to jail or driving on suspended license. Right? So with the safe surrender, it's going to allow, and Pastor Brady coming here to see if we can host it, that we want them to be able, with the sheriff department, to come in, surrender themselves. The judge is going to be there, everybody sign off. None cost, whatever the cost, let them go home, right? They did it 20 search, I know you remember.
Adrian.
Adrian. I think it was 2007 or 8, they said they did it before. They had only about 2017. And they only had about 7 people out of about, I don't know, 8,000 that showed up that actually had to go to jail because they had some real felony warrants on them that they had to go down and see a judge on. So just knowing that we want to be intentional about evaluating the work that we're doing so that we can measure. People, I often say they don't want to know they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And if you show them the current and the details of what you did to get the outcome that you did, right? You got to understand that when you're coming for these grants, it's become public information, public record, so that we can be able to share somebody else can duplicate it. Please understand, we got a county of 960,000 people. Watch this here. We only got about 140 beds for mental health. That's safe. 700 individuals right now are in 201 Poplar that shouldn't be in 201 Poplar, that need to be in clinical spaces or some of these churches building, right, Pastor, that we can transform to beds and provide counseling, nursing. I want to sing something, I ain't going to put it out there yet, but I'm praying and I'm going to push it hard to make it manifest, to get these homeless people off downtown streets and our mental health in a facility that can work good. All of them, I'm going to need your blessing. Like Alderman McGee, again, he didn't have to do it, but he came all the way from Milton to fight for Fraser kids to have Fraser High School and spoke in that committee for that to happen. That's what collaboration looks like. When you can get other people from other municipalities to come and fight for our children. The first step to getting a grant is obtain sponsor from a commissioner. Everybody don't call me the sponsor. I just want to help you now. Step 1 out of 13. That's why you got to look at your data. Even if you got 5 people in North Memphis, call Commissioner Henry Brooks, right? If you got somebody in Fraser, call McKell Commissioner Lyra, right? You need to look at your data to see who you are helping. Where did you pull that person out of the fire so that when you come tell them, you're not telling a lie? I just said so. So the website easily, but this is the full link. But just go to Shelby County Commissioner's website on there. You're going to see the Community Enhancement Grant. Get on that link. You have to fill out that information. So, but first, get you a sponsor. Go sit down with, how you get them? Call down there, set up a meeting, right? Or go sit outside their house. Whatever you got to do. But I seen them outside my house one day. But whatever you have to do, many of them you can call and set up a meeting. Let me give y'all the tip. That's why y'all came today, right? Come to Wednesday committees or Monday night commission meetings. Because they don't show up for them. And you might want to show up an hour early, either way, or an hour, you'll just be there. Sometimes committee can go long and say, I want to speak to this commission. They there, they're at a time. Or call their office and request to meet them on those days. And that's usually the first and the third Monday, and the second and the fourth Wednesday of the month. I may have that backwards, but just look on our Shelby County Commission, look at the meeting dates, and make those appointments that day. And why is that important, y'all? Because many of them got jobs, right? They work somewhere else. So they only can get off at sometimes the times that they come out and do the commission meetings. So be sensible to that. Say, man, I can't never get in touch. Because I made it look too easy. I'm real easy and accessible to get in touch with. So that everybody think every commissioner should be there. They not. So don't blame them. They got a job. This is part-time. It's a full-time on the other side of this work. All right? So we want to be able to take care of them. So I have a sponsor now. What? So once you get a sponsor, again, as I said, look at your data. You might get 2 or 3 sponsors. So if Commissioner Brooks may say, I sponsor you for $5,000. Well, call McKell and say, McKell, can I get $5,000? If you doing something for the whole county of people, ask for $5,000 from everybody, right? And it adds up. So some of your budget may be $50,000. Well, ask for $3,000, $4,000 from everybody, right? To get to where your budget needs to be. You don't have to get all of it from one commissioner because he only got a certain amount of money to serve his or her district of 76,000 people. So just be wise in your approach to getting it that way. And it's an easy process. And I'm going to show y'all something. I'm going to give y'all a cheat code at the end of this to show y'all, for those, I ain't never wrote a grant, I don't know how to write a grant, I don't know how to write a proposal, I'm about to drop something on you. So required documents for this request. IRS determination, levels for 501c3, C4, or C6 again. How many of y'all have a nonprofit? And how many of y'all got IRS levels? All right. Well, some of y'all not real nonprofits, you don't have IRS. And you just doing the business, but you ain't gonna get the business. Because when people can't, so what we get the business if you don't have the IRS level? A lot of times what we fail at, we apply at the state and say we're a nonprofit and get our auto corporation state, but we don't take it to the next level and fill out the application with the IRS, and so therefore you're not fully there. But let me say this to that. I said something the other day in our meeting, a young man that comes, I've been doing this work for a long time, Pastor, and he said, but I ain't been getting no money, I've been spending my money, he's not a nonprofit. I said, but here you go. You got nonprofits in this room that you can partner with. When I first started, I didn't have my 501c3. I collaborate with another 501c3. I share with them my budget, my work. Watch this here. When they got the grant, they paid me for my budget, my work, and they got the credit, and I got credits. When I did apply, I was able to say, this is who I partner with, and this is how I got here. Right? You don't have to wait till you get the 501c3 to get the grant. You got to find somebody with the 501c3 to get the grant. And that may help some of them. Some of them may have the paperwork, and I'm going to tell you, it's a lot of them. I might have a session just for the ones who got 501c3 but not doing the work because they don't know what to do. I got a bunch of y'all in here doing the work who need to collaborate with them. Complete budget specific grant request amount. Again, break it down line item by line item of what it is that you are going to do with those dollars when you get them. And then most recently, annual audit report. And again, for those who say, man, I ain't really been doing this. An audit report could be that if you just got $50,000, break down the report. It's a profit and loss statement. I got $50,000, I got $20,000. Break down. You don't have to go get a CPA at that level. Now, if you come in there asking for hundreds of thousands, yes, you're going to have a certified audit from a CPA. But most of the time, it's a profit and loss statement. Just break it down how you spent your money over the last 18 months. And then the state of Central Tennessee, this is very important. This is where I found a lot of people, I got one now, been waiting on their money. Like, I keep calling her, but you ain't filled out your state of Tennessee Secretary of State solicitation letter. It's free. You don't have to cost you no money. You just got to fill it out with the state and let them know that you're going to be asking for money out here and they can keep track of you, not just out here hustling, right? $10. It's $10. And so that's a very important level that many people are missing out on to get these grants. And again, I appreciate the heart of so many people that are doing the work, but let's just make sure that we're going to be in line to get these resources that we got our stuff in line. And again, y'all, I know my brother back there taking pictures. If you register back there, I'm going to email this out to everybody too. We can have these documents. We'll try to put it online as well. Important reminders, if you're in the group, oh my God, this is important one, Pastor. You approve, and we read, so this is how it works. Once I sponsor you, and you come down there and you tell us about your good work, and then we approve it in committee, then it goes to that Monday night, we approve it on that Monday night. It can take 30 to 45 days, because it got to go upstairs, the mayor got to sign it, he got 10 days to sign the resolution. Then from there, they got to go to our attorneys draft up the contract. So all of these are processes. Sometimes it can take longer than 45 days, and hopefully artificial intelligence can help us out with that, get your money faster. But people call me the next day and be like, can I come pick up the check? Yeah? And then the day after, I said 30 days, just checking this, 29 more days left. Right? But if you do, and when you do call our office, our grant person, again, I'll make sure her name is in there, but don't blow up too much. It's Tanya Blunt. Tanya Blunt is our grant compliance person, 222-1000. Again, that's the number you call to find your commissioner, the one that you need to talk to about sponsoring you. Again, don't be hesitant about reaching out to all the commissioners if you feel like your work touches. Even if you don't, but let me be clear on that too, because I had a couple of organizations that came down for me, Richardson, who do work over in Raleigh Egypt High School, middle school, When she came down and talked about her program about literacy and providing black literacy to kids, everybody jumped on and gave her money, right? So it may be just something that touched their heart, that they feel like we want to see this program succeed because we want to eventually bring it to our community. So again, you may not touch it with data, but you may touch it with the passion of what it is you do. The commissioners might want to support that work. So that was a lot. You will get to this draft, but that was the county process. Any questions so far? Please don't hesitate.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So when we got the grant, it ran late that night. And like 4 or 5 commissioners had already left.
Yeah.
So they didn't get the privilege to give me any money.
Right.
Now, because y'all did go ahead and cut the check, which thank you so much.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I go back and ask those 5 who didn't give, or am I done until the next session?
Probably if they got money, it's possible. But let me say this to them. So she came in Wednesday committee, you didn't come back Monday.
No.
So if you miss on Wednesday, because for whatever reason you can't get the awards crazy, our commission, sadly, community enhancement grant is on the back end of our agenda, and it can go long. Be there on that Monday, right? Pull that card at the beginning of the meeting and tell them you want to speak on that item. So what happens, like in most of the cases, just like with yours, everybody approved it in committee, right? So it goes on the consent agenda. So on the consent agenda, if you're not there to pull that card to let them hear who didn't hear that day because they weren't in that meeting, it's gone, right? It's approved, you gone. But if I see you there and you pull the card, they're gonna bring me the card, I'm gonna pull it off the consent agenda to give you an opportunity to speak, and then you can speak, and if they got the ability, they can give. So please keep that in y'all notebook, that that's a tip that a lot of people miss out on. They don't make it to committee, they don't come on Monday, the other commissioners don't hear them, you miss out on that opportunity for them to give. And a lot of times, and it may be even better than sometimes in that commission meeting because you got so many eyes on that, and we're not going to have all those other discussions to be able to get them to sow into to your organization. But reach out to the commissioners who you want to talk to. If they still got money, they can do an amendment to get you some dollars for that grant.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Let me jump real quick. Any other questions?
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
The money that's left, is that public knowledge?
It
The money
can.
that the commission.
The other commissioners got called. If you call 222-1000, ask Tanya Blunt, she can tell you who got money. Yeah, she can tell you who still have funding left. I know some of it was on the agenda for this week, but I think tomorrow when we go in. But I think we're going to hold that until just get some stuff straightened out right now. How did y'all? Any other questions before I move on to city real quick? And I'm not going to stay on city real long because it's right here at the end.
I seen the guy was commissioner was speaking on ending community enhancement grant. I wanted your thoughts.
Who a commissioner said that?
Yeah, it was on the news like that.
I know the mayor said something about it. I didn't know Commissioner Wright.
It was
They don't need the money. I mean, so many times, so I say this, yes, you will probably hear a Republican say that. Because if you go to many of their communities, they don't need the money. They're not dealing with the poverty issues, the violent crime that we're dealing with in our community at the level we are. That's why they can easily give $50,000. Again, nothing against their feelings on that. That's their right to feel that way. But they don't see the impact that they go home not with people blocking off the street doing donuts in the middle of their neighborhood like what we're seeing in our community, right? Because we're giving them nothing to do or having other opportunities out there in front of them. So yes, you might, if he said it, just look at what all you have to do is ask for it, and you can do that, 222-1000, ask for where all the grant dollars been going for these municipalities in organization, for any of us. You can get that information. So it's all public information. So I don't support that because I know the need and I know who's doing it. What I will say is, no, I don't support it. Now, I would say, we do it another way, is that we put it in a bucket of fund, and we pull out that, but we got to be able to put money on the ground. I see it working. I see it working in our community. So I don't see some of the stuff that our other folks who supposed to be cleaning up their block doing, right?
That's right.
But I see Gold and them folks out there doing it. And DeAndre and them with Lifeline, when they had them out here doing it. So real quick on the city council same way. This is the tip I want y'all to know on city council. How many city council people do you have representing you if you stay in Raleigh? How many city council people do you have? Not you, David. Two. You said two. How many you said? And Ms. Rob,
I don't know.
So you basically have four,
What?
right? Because the city council is the same, broken down in super districts.
That's right.
So we got super district 8, 1, 2, and 3, and the west side of our city, and all the way down towards Hickory Hill. And then on this other half of our city is super district 9, 1, 2, and 3. So many times we only go to Rhonda Logan, right? Because she's that black council person. But we got Jeff Warren, we got Carlisle, and we got Canali. All three of them represent this district. So we just let them get off scot-free. So they can go do whatever, because we ain't going to ask them about nothing, then they're going to come ask for our vote.
Yep.
Right? And I ain't going to blame them, because if you have not, because you asked not. And what are we afraid of asking them, because they don't look like us. And then we'll be beating us up, the black commissioners and council people, because why y'all ain't doing this, but we ain't the only ones got the money. Like I said, if Big Farewell need it, tell them we need it over here.
They don't respond on the other side. I'm not gonna lie to you. I email everyone.
Yeah.
I email everyone on both sides. They don't respond like y'all.
And to that point, we ain't they boss. But let me say this. On the city side, we are, right? Those representatives, we are. But men right who don't live in this district, his bosses is those people he represents. And if they saying, oh, we don't need it, we good. We go home, we cut grass, everything tight, right? Then they don't need it. And so they found places to put it. Sometimes I have seen where Commissioner Wright and others have given to some programs. I think at one time he might have given something to 901 block. I think right, I don't know. Yeah. And so that's a different program that don't even serve people in this district. So sometimes I have seen that happen because the need is not great out there as it is in our district. So you'll see that. So, but with the city council, 4 people, you need to call. Really, 8 across the board. For us, I'm gonna tell y'all, we can leverage it. We really got 5. Michael and Jess, when they redistricted her, got part of Raleigh, near Raleigh, Egypt. So she got some of Raleigh. Then we got Rhonda Logan. We got those other 3 super districts. So those are people that you can reach out. But on the other side, don't just call Michael Eastland and Frazier, right? Or who was the other person? Michael and...
What, Frazier?
No, not just Frazier. I know Michael got all the Frazier, right?
And then Smiley is our, we have
So
Smiley.
those are the super district
Yeah,
people, right?
super
So super district over there is Smiley, Janika White, and Yolanda Sutton Cooper, who was here at our meeting a couple of weeks ago. Those are there. But let me tell you, we have those, and I even had people and other, like Janika White, who don't even represent the North Side, give to organizations here in the North Side because she sees value in the work that they're doing, and they're duplicating by seeing the work that we're doing here. I know Pastor got an organization in South Memphis now started Night at Light Street Ministry. They came, met with him, saw how he was running the program. Now in South Memphis, they were in the same program on Friday night because they saw what we were doing here in this district. So again, city council process pretty much the same way. The only thing about the city council program, this is where it kind of different from our side of the street and their side. So just say, for example, you put in a grant. Usually, if Michael say I support this grant, she'll get the 7 votes, right? Usually. But they have a tendency to vote against something that they don't. On our side of the street, if I say I'm supporting this, it's pretty much going to get funded. We vote, everybody vote unanimously. We support it because you know what's best for your community. And that's how we roll over there. They money go in a big pot. They do have assets, I think about $150,000 that they can give each city council person. So their number is 90163 66786. I'm gonna send this link out to you all as well and put this on Facebook and social media for those who need that. Pretty much work the same way. You got to have the same documents. You got to have the same documents and things in place. And if you go to the website, Mississippi City Council, you can see all the information here, and pretty much it tells you everything you need to know about that. The most important thing about the City Council is to know who your council people are. I just shared with you all the other information. You need to know your data. You need to measure your outcome. You need to know, again, be approachable to other entities. It is good, and y'all, and how many of y'all went down to City Council to get money? Everybody haven't got City Council grant? So what do Henry Ford say when you ask for a grant? Who you collaborate with? What else he said?
Did the county give us some money?
Did the county give y'all some money? So they're like, if you're asking us, did you go across the street and ask them? Right? So don't just be at one side, but be diverse with it. Even say, oh, not only the county, I went to the state. Right? Waiting on the federal to respond. Like, you gotta be ready, y'all. Y'all gotta be ready because they're gonna ask those questions to look at you as an organization. Are you that organization that's just gonna jump in here and get money in? So I'm gonna give y'all a real quick cheat code and then we going out of here, y'all. So this is gonna be the game changer. How many of y'all use ChatGPT? How many of y'all don't use ChatGPT? Who got y'all get wrong? Okay, they get it wrong. Now I'm about to hit y'all with this real quick. So this is something just simple right here, y'all. If I was to say, Pastor, I can use your organization for example, right? So I'm gonna do this real quick. Create for me a grant proposal for light. That's good. I'm gonna spell it right, y'all. I got it. That have 100 keys in a budget. I'm just gonna make up a budget, right? This I can do a budget of 100K for 1 year. All right. So that's it. You push the button, and the game will change. So now it's creating you the whole proposal, and all you're doing is cutting and pasting and putting this in the grant proposal that you're getting ready to send to the county commission. It just did everything you need to send me. It did background. The reason why I probably show stuff right here, one thing about AI, ChatGPT, I'm gonna say you got to train it. The way I train it is I continue to put stuff in about things I do around ACEs and trauma and different things like that, my community, the 7 keys. So you will see that stuff pop up in here because that's what I've been feeding it. It's like you feed it, it gives you what you feed. So you want to go in there and just create business plan, create this, create that about your program or organization, and bam, it got you everything you want right here. Pastor, you don't have to do nothing else. It's over. You can go in there 100,000 right now. So again, y'all, cheat code right there. It gave him a budget. Look at it. It broke down the budget. All you have to do is go in there and rechange. If you need to put something up here, take something down there, call me and say, Charlie, I'm ready. I ain't even break it down. It broke it down. It not only did it break it down there, it broke down the education component and measurement, impact and measurement. It told how he gonna measure. I said y'all gonna have measurement. It said the participant surveys to assess progress in personal and professional growth, tracking the program retention and attendance, reduction in behavior, incidents and justice system involvement, increased engagement in education and workforce opportunities. It did all that. So you remember back in the day, Pastor McGee, where they used to say the movies is the devil. Yeah. Don't let them tell you AI is the devil. It may be to somebody, but it can be a help to somebody else. What the devil meant for bad, God will turn around. So we better learn how to use this file good. I've been using it, y'all, and I have wrote. Matter of fact, the District Connector program, they have 4.8 million. I wrote it off a resolution off check. Oh, y'all ain't heard what I said. Tell the Lord thank you. Well, that's the meeting for the day. Any other questions before we leave?
And one thing to add on your ChatGPT for your cheat code.
Yeah.
When you go to the bottom and say that's a great start, now ask me 5 to 10 clarifying questions
Right.
to ensure my vision is fully captured.
Right.
And then hit the enter button, it's gonna pull even more stuff, because if you allow it to ask you clarifying questions, it's
Right.
gonna even more tailor what it is that, it put out the first time.
So it'll give you a deeper and detail. Watch this here, y'all. So I'm gonna just give y'all another real quick cheat code, Pastor, for your program. So Pastor can copy that and then take that right there and then ask Chad like this here. He can say, create me a curriculum for this program. And it's gonna create him a whole curriculum. Now they turn the upgrade. They say you asking me too many. Yeah. They want me to pay for it now. Use the free version and still get you where you need to go. Thank y'all so much for $100 today. Okay, and I forgot, we got a quick announcement on a couple quick ones.
Tell them about the E99 postcard.
Yeah, a lot of people, again, if you didn't do nothing last year with your 501c3, still fill out that EZ95. It's easy. You just put in the information saying, I didn't do over 50,000. It'll at least give you that. They're going to ask you for, did you even file last year? Some people say, I ain't do nothing. And they have not filed, and then 2 years later, they kick you out the system because you didn't file even your EZ990. You think you got your 501c3, but it's kicked out the system. So always do that part. And if you do over $50,000, you have to fill out a little longer form, let them know what you did with the money and how you spent that money. And that's important because you're going to have that for next year. Somebody else had their hands up. We're good. All right, so this information will be on there. If you need an email, we'll email this information. What's this email information helpful to y'all today? Yeah. Again, please tell somebody else to look at the video online and hopefully somebody else can tap into this. Thank y'all.
One last question, do you know when the city's grant opens back up?
I think it's in April.
No, it's in May or June. It's later on.
I think it used to April 1st, unless they changed the date.
I think it's a phone.
I found out the date of it to y'all. But it usually April 1st. The other thing, y'all, next week, please, y'all, tell somebody. So it is March 11th next week, right? We're not going to meet at 12, we're going to meet at 1, but you can come a little early for lunch. We got the MMBC, again, an initiative that we find, especially if you're a business owner and know somebody that owns a business. They're coming in with a kickoff campaign of some sessions that they're going to be doing with businesses to help you tap into getting your MWBE, all of those availabilities to get contracts with the government, to do business with the city council. We're going to kick that off at 1 o'clock next week. Please, if you come early, we'll have lunch available for you. And it's going to go to 3 o'clock. So be prepared, 1 to 3, for that campaign that starts next week.